Have you experienced the power of praying together with your spouse? Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Coach Glory. Welcome to my channel where I use stories to share about marriage. Okay, experiences about marriage, challenges people experience in marriage, everything I share using stories. So, what's the importance of praying together? Do you pray together with your spouse? Just type your comments, let me know if you do or not. Okay, there's no judgment here, no judgment zone. So if you don't pray with your spouse, that's nobody's going to say, why aren't you praying with your spouse? But once you've heard my story, probably you might change your mind after hearing my story. So welcome, thanks for joining me. Everyone who is here, I appreciate you. As you know, my platforms are used to share stories about relationship and marriage. I'm a certified relationship and marriage coach, so I try to help in one way or the other, make sure couples are having great relationships. So let's get started with tonight's story. I'll be using the story of Michelle and David for tonight's to emphasize tonight's story. So, Michelle and David, after a while, they noticed that they were drifting apart, having been married for over 25 years. And Michelle reflected on the problems they've been encountering. Yeah, all these problems in the marriage. And one day she decided to change things around by doing a simple thing. Yeah, as they sat down in their living room, she reached out and put her hand on her husband's hand, David. And as she did that, she started to pray. She prayed for herself, she prayed for him, she prayed for their children, she prayed for their marriage, she prayed for everything concerning them, concerning their lives. Her husband was taken aback because remember, they had been drifting apart. So he was shocked. It was like, what is happening here? But he sat down quietly and he listened as his wife Michelle prayed. She prayed for them. She prayed and prayed for them for a long time. And that moment, they both said that something shifted. Something shifted within them, and something shifted in the atmosphere in the home. So they both decided to surrender their hearts to God. They surrendered the issues, the problems, and they decided to surrender to each other. Okay, to be humble, to be vulnerable, to let down pride, because over time pride had taken a big seat in their home. So through prayers, they both decided to be humble and just ensure that they continually pray together, commit every issue to God. Prayer became their lifeline, and they decided that from that moment on, they were going to ensure that they were united. So they anchored their relationship on faith, trusting God, and on unity. Yeah, that became their anchor. And they said, nothing, it doesn't matter what it was, they were going to resolve it through prayers, and they were not going to give up on each other. That was a promise they made to each other. And that's why today they are able to share their stories. Yeah, and I'm able to talk to you, share this story with you as well. Because who knows, anyone out there may be experiencing these same issues where you're drifting apart from your spouse and you're wondering, what can I do? Maybe you can take a tip from Michelle and David's story tonight and try it out. You might be saying, oh, Coach Glory, I have prayed, we have prayed, we have done this, we have done all of that, and we are still having those problems. Yes, that's a possibility where you have prayed, you have tried it, and you are still, you still seem to be drifting apart. What can you do in a moment like that, or in a situation like that? Now, there are times you have people that you believe in, and those people believe in you. Yeah, you trust them. So you can ask them to join you in prayer, because at this moment you are feeling weak. You no longer believe in yourself. You no longer believe in the ability to pray. So you call them and ask them to join you and support you in prayer. Yeah? This is why the Bible says iron sharpens iron. Yeah? You can't sharpen iron with wood. No, it will not work. Iron has to sharpen iron. So when you feel weak like that, get people that you know will not go about spreading your issues. Yeah? Confide in them, and they will start lifting you up in prayer. You lift each other or one another up in prayer. That's the way it is. That's the way life is. Okay? Now, I have a website. It's gloriousmaritalbliss.com. If you feel like you need someone, you want to contact me, or you need someone to join you in prayer, go over there, contact me. I'll gladly join you in prayers and things like that. I have a beautiful course on my website. It's called Revitalize Your Love. Yeah, go on there. You can take the course on your own. You can take it with your spouse. And before you know it, things will begin to change. Just going through the different modules on the course, things will begin to change. Your hearts will begin to soften towards each other. Yeah? That brings me to the Bible verse I would like to share with us today. Yeah, it's in Matthew 18:20. And it says, "For where 2 or 3 are gathered, yeah, in my name, there I am also." That's God saying that where 2 people are, it only takes 2 people. He is there. Now, as a couple, you are already 2, right? So when you are praying, you are committing, lifting all these issues to God. He is there, right there with you, listening. Yeah, listening and helping you through the situation. Now, a 2-fold cord is so easy to break. But when you have 3-fold cords, it's difficult to break 3, because it is they're all intertwined together. It's more difficult, and that is where it is important to bring God in. When you bring God into those situations, you become victorious. It's easier to overcome. Yeah, you become victorious, and you see, before you know it, the situation begins to resolve itself, because you have committed it to God. Yeah, unity, faith is very important. Unity and faith. Have faith, trust in God that He's seeing you through the situation, and then be united. Have a united front. That will go a long way to help your marriage. Okay? Now, with all my videos, I like to share some psychological insights. Okay? I studied psychology, so I always like to bring in psychology as well, so we can compare. I've shared biblical insights with you. Now let's look at what studies have shown. I'm going to read this. Now, studies prove that praying together fosters emotional intimacy and vulnerability, allowing couples to bond on a deeper level. Yeah? Shared spiritual practices like prayer have been shown to increase marital satisfaction. So, shared spiritual practices like prayer, this is what studies have shown. When you pray together, you have better marital satisfaction. You are happier, you feel more fulfilled, and all of that, because you are both united. All right? So I thought to come in here and share this with us. Yeah, and hopefully you've learned one or two things from my story, and you can also start putting that into practice in your own lives and in your home. So do leave your comments. I always love to read your comments. I love to know what you have to say about my videos, about the messages I'm sharing with people around the world. So I would like to read your comments. It always helps me. I always love to read them. And one thing that I would like you to also help me do is share. All right, share. I would really appreciate that. It's always good to share because I can't reach a lot of people on my own. But when you share, you listen and then you share, we get to reach more people. So thanks once again for being here. Thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate you all. All right. Till I come your way again, I remain Coach Glory. I use stories to share important messages about relationship and marriage. Thank you once again. Wow, thanks for the gift. Somebody just shared a gift. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So what I do is I come here to share lots of different stories on relationship and marriage. I hope you heard my story on praying together, and I used the example that was shared by Michelle and David. Obviously, they are not real names. I have just changed the names of the people involved because I don't want to share. Oh, wow. Thank you. Life goal achieved, it says. Really? The life goal has been achieved. Wow, that's awesome. Thanks so much, everyone. I really appreciate you. So I like to come in here to share stories, okay? Stories that inspire, stories that will challenge you to be better, to do better, to do things better, to treat people right, and all of that. I always emphasize on relationship and marriage because a lot of people have broken homes, they have marriages that are not really working as they should and things like that. And when the marriage is not working well, it affects the children. Okay, so we try as much as possible to get people doing things better, if not for anything, for the children's sake. You see, it's very important, yeah, for our children's sake. And of course, you want to make your marriage better for yourself as well. You want to be a happy person, but at the same time, we need to think about the children because they had no choice but to be born in that home. Yeah, they did not choose. They were born in that home. So it's not fair for them to be affected by what is going on around. All right. So thanks everyone for joining. Thank you. Bye.